Hi students, welcome to NIRS Education. So in the previous session already we have seen how to protect the crops from the weeds. So the weeds are the undesirable plants which grown along with the crops. So the removal of weed is nothing but weeding. So that is very necessary to grow the crops in the proper manner. Otherwise, the unwanted plants, those which grow with the crops, they will compete for the space, light, for the nutrients and water and space also. So, to provide all the necessary things to the crops, it is very important to remove the weeds from the crops. So now the next stage of the agricultural practice is the harvesting. So harvesting of the crop is a very important task because the matured plants which have grown along with the yield, so that we have to identify its maturity date or maturity time. So if it is going to take place before or very after long time, so that is going to make a lot of loss to the farmers. That's why it's very important task. So here the cutting of the crop after it's mature is nothing but the harvesting. So the cutting of crop from the cutting of crop from the fields after it is matured. So cutting of the crops from the fields after the maturity of the plants is nothing but the harvesting. So in the harvesting process, crops are pulled out or cut close to the ground. So that is done by using many different kinds of the tools. Usually the plants or the crops, usually they are going to take 3 to 4 months commonly to maturity. Usually 3 to 4 months are going to be taken by the cereal crops for the mature. So here the harvesting process is done by manually by the use of the tool called the sickle or by the machine called the harvester. The harvesting process in our country, normally the farmers, those who have very little land, they will use the sickles for the harvesting purpose, and after that they will separate the grains from the chaff. But the farmers, those who are having very much land, they are usually go to the harvester for the harvesting the crops. So here the harvested crop, the grain seeds need to be separated by the chaff, that is called the threshing. The separation of grain seeds from the chaff is nothing but threshing. So this process is carried out with the help of a machine called the combine, which is in fact a combined harvester and a thresher. Combiner is actually a machine which is the combined of the harvester and the thresher. So that is going to separate the seeds as well as the chaff. So the farmers with small holdings of land do the separation of grains and chaff by the winnowing process. What do you mean by winnowing? What is mean by threshing? That already we have seen in the 7th standard in detail. So here in this picture you can see the picture of or the image of the combine. So that usually in our areas we are going to use for the harvesting of the wheat as well as for the harvesting of the Bengal grams and some many other different crops. So usually in our areas we use these kinds of the machineries for the harvesting purpose of the wheat normally. And the people, those who are having a very small lands or a little lands, though they will use the winnowing machine for the purpose of the separation of the seeds as well as the chaff. So in these seasons, when the process of harvesting is going to take place, usually we know that after 3 or 4 months of hard working, our farmers will come with a lot of happiness with the observation of the sight of the golden fields of standing crops. So they fill the farmers' hearts will fill the enjoyment of that harvesting processes. So that will be the sense of the well-being. The efforts of the past season have borne the fruits, and it is the time to relax and enjoy the harvesting processes. So the period of harvest is a great joy and happiness in almost in all the parts of our country. So the men and women will celebrate it with a great enthusiasm, especially the festivals associated with the harvest seasons such as the Sankranti, or it may be considered as the Pongal, Holi, Diwali, and Bihu. In different kinds of celebrations are there in our whole country. So different parts of our country will celebrate the different types of celebrations at the time of the harvesting process when they complete. So this will be a great enthusiastic moments for our farmers when they will get a good yield with the better dreams of our farmers. So this is the process of the harvesting, in which we are going to separate the grains from the chaff by the use of the different tools, and they will fulfill the needs of our farmers, as well as the farmers are going to fulfill the needs of the other peoples, those who are living in the whole country, by the means of spreading the happiness with the good quality of the food. So thank you and have a nice day for watching this. Thank you for watching this video. Thanks and have a nice day.